Content warning. On this podcast, we discuss sensitive issues, including but not limited to swearing, tasteless jokes, situations of a sexual nature, and drug use. This podcast is not intended for children.
Welcome to BiblioWrecks, where we read the world's worst stories. I'm Bam Bam.
And I'm Bugs.
How's it going, Bugs?
Time change, it's dark, we have a despot authoritarian at the head of the government.
Yeah, I hate
great.
the time change.
It's fall, it's dreary, it's cold.
Yeah. I've got one bit of good news.
We get to pick apart something spectacular.
It's spectacularly something.
Yeah, you were telling me about this the other day, and I was like, this sounds awful.
Yeah. So today we're picking apart Hacking Seduction. The greatest
boy.
pickup artists share their best tricks. So this was written in 2012.
Oh, before the big incel push of the last 5-6 years. I guess.
This was like the first little bit of incel culture as it was just beginning.
Wow. Because that was before like Gamergate and all that shit too.
Yeah, so this is actually written by TSB magazine, and pretty much all they did was picked out their most popular articles and just put them in a book.
Lazy.
Yeah, it's super lazy.
Wow.
And it's not even long either. It's like 50 pages.
All right.
It was fun to go through. Well, fun might not be the word, but...
I mean, as far as we're going with it, you know, this is our form of fun.
So I figured you could be the young alpha male bro that's trying to get laid. Yeah. Please have guitar mouth noises at the ready throughout the episode. Just a little squinny here now and there.
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, obligatory yeah, bruh.
Preach, Alpha.
So in this book, you find out, how do I open, as in opening a conversation? What do I talk about? When do I go for the kiss? All of these questions and more are answered right here.
Oh, boy. Because having to find out in a book how to have a conversation is the best way to learn
Obviously.
how to have a conversation.
Think of this guide like a tips and tricks book for your favorite video game.
Oh.
You know how talking to women is like video games?
I said hi. Spam, spam,
talking
spam,
to an
spam. Hi.
NPC.
It's, I remember this thing about how in some ways The Sims was harmful because if you just harass an NPC long enough, they will respond romantically.
Yeah, that's kind of what these guys do, actually.
Yeah.
But this was in 2012, so I don't know how many of these guys are playing. How long has Sims been around?
Well, that was probably The Sims 3 in 2012. But it's also true of other Sim-like game things, I think. But, oh boy.
But instead of killing zombies or fighting aliens, these seduction hacks will help you get the girl and get you laid.
Because we're going to gamify a relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, I bet you're asking yourself, what makes a good conversation opener?
Yes. Let's see.
Well, let's start with what isn't a good conversation opener.
Oh,
is how whoever wrote this decided.
Sure. That sounds like a good place to start.
Never depressing, never political, never racial, never anything that can be angrily argued about. So the idea is to start a shallow conversation designed to go nowhere.
Because we're not going to try to have a relationship. We're trying to nice guy it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice guy mode. Okay.
So a lot of these are in mind. A lot of these are set up to be what's in mind is for you to be at a club doing these things or something like that.
So setting the scene, we're at a bar or a club.
Yeah, and vast majority of these there are where these things apply. So, for instance, the question, do you floss before or after brushing? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If some stranger just walked up to you at a bar and asked you about your toothbrushing habits, serial killer, right?
I would say you can't have them. They're my teeth. You can't have them. Sorry.
That's crazy. That's the first one.
No, that's the opener.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's a best out of 10. Let's go down the list.
Yeah,
Maybe it gets better.
The next one is, that piece of meat in a wonton soup. What the hell is it?
You don't know how to read the menu?
I guess not.
Okay, wait. 2012 was the release of the iPhone, right? 2012 was iPhone? Hold on, because this will matter.
Okay.
Producer Jay is doing a very quick Google.
It will be even faster in the edit. Wow.
That's 2007.
Oh, 2007.
June of 2007.
Okay, so iPhones had been around for 5 years at that point.
So you could have actually pulled out your iPhone and Googled what is in. That's the exact shit that's wrong with these people. What is even in this weird Asian cuisine?
Yeah,
I don't know. Instead of pulling out your phone, what is this? Brief history, Wikipedia.
Well, the point isn't...
And then, did you know this was developed in the Xizhan period of King blah, blah, blah? And maybe act like you know something?
So you're already coming at this wrong. You're coming at it from, this person is asking a question. They must want to learn information. These people don't want to... learn anything. They just want to insert themselves into a conversation that somehow ends in sex.
So it's one of those mazes on a cereal box. In the center is sex with any available female. And we will take these little tiny detours and see which one could possibly get us to hot coochie.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all these are.
God. And you know what? I have never been in a bar or a club to have been hit on. I have never even had the female side of this. I have only seen it in movies.
Yeah.
And it is still...
It still seems crazy.
That people are reading this advice is absurd.
So I'll go through a bunch of the other ones because they're pretty out there. Is kissing cheating? That's something you start a conversation
with.
It's wild.
That would imply you have a wife back home, and the answer should be yes.
Yeah. That implies that you're concerned about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so a stranger just doesn't want to get involved with you if they're smart.
No.
Maybe it's like a self-selecting thing. Like all the people that would say no to that question are the people that you want to continue with. Because anyone who says yes has enough sense to know that you're full of shit and they don't want to talk to you.
Right.
Would you let your fiancé go to Rio de Janeiro for his bachelor party?
As a warm-up. This is where we haven't even said hi.
Yeah,
this is the intro.
This is the conversation openers.
We're breaking the ice here.
Yeah. I don't know how anyone starts a conversation with the question.
Because that sounds like you're going to try to marry me tomorrow in Vegas, and you want to go to Rio de Janeiro tonight. Okay. But people take this... Okay, I'll try to take this seriously.
So, last one. Would you be mad if your boyfriend slept with Jennifer Aniston?
Do I get to watch?
For my scenario, yes. That's just common sense. That makes everybody happy.
She's a MILF now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
2012 is a long time ago.
Oh yeah. She was still like, when did Friends end?
I think it started in the early 90s, so I think it ended around the late aughts.
Huh. Maybe that's why they brought this up. She was more
probably
relevant then.
because I think she was still very relevant then, but it ended in 2004. Okay. But she had a string of movies after Friends.
She had a bunch of Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, her career kind of like amped up after Friends was done, I think.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I think she was the only one who had her career amped up after Friends.
Yeah, probably.
Which I think a lot of that was the Brad Pitt stuff. Moving on. This has nothing to do with anything.
It's probably more interesting than what this is.
My brain is just kind of glancing
So,
off of this and going towards
openers.
Jennifer Aniston.
Openers. Teeth, food object, cheating,
Rio de Janeiro.
cheating. 3 of those were about potential cheating because the idea if he goes to Rio de Janeiro, he's going to bang all the hot Latina chicks. So, cheating.
Yeah.
You're trying to suss out girls who are happy with cheating.
Or at the very least are fine with some level of sexual promiscuity, I guess. So another self-selection set of questions, I think.
Yes. None of these put you in a good light. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, they're all weird. I can't imagine, like, if anyone, it doesn't matter, like, how hot they are.
No.
If anyone came up to me asking these questions, I want to end that conversation as fast as possible.
Yeah. Oh.
So then this writer starts telling a story about him lying to a bunch of girls. He says a set of girls. I don't know how much a set of girls is, but every time he refers to them, it's a set.
You should only call women girls if they're under 18.
Yeah.
Calling women girls is infantilizing and gross.
Well, I mean, it is a club. You never know what happens there. So anyway, it's him and his friends are telling a story or telling a bunch of lies because they're acting like they're going to go skydiving the next day and that he is chickening out. Pretty much they're just all going on like this weird little imaginary ride. And apparently, according to him, this gets him laid, this gets most of his friends laid, and gets the last friend who has the least amount of game, a phone number, who after 3 dates gets laid.
By talking about maybe skydiving tomorrow. Okay.
So
make yourself look interesting even when you're not.
Yeah. Which I feel like everybody does to some degree, but...
I think it's also implying wealth that isn't there, because skydiving is expensive.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's kind of accessible. Of course, a lot of these people are probably living in more high-rise areas or something like that.
These are more
Population
affluent
dense
people, maybe.
Yeah. So the next chapter is about direct approaches, where you directly walk up to a woman and tell her that she is attractive. But what do you say after that? Any thoughts?
Let's see. Gosh, you're awful party. I'll go get a coffee.
That one sounds like personal experience.
No. I was just channeling, it was that book about, it was that guy who went to jail for murdering his dad because his dad raped his mom. Robbie Thornton? No, what was the actor's name? Billy Bob Thornton. He played that.
Oh, Sling Blade.
Sling Blade.
Yeah.
I was
channeling.
I was channeling
Sling Blade.
Sling Blade.
Oh, what was it? Carl Childress. That was the character's name.
Mm-hmm. Like, how can you just not even go with, gosh, it's rainy today. Oh, you don't have an umbrella. Would you like one? Maybe I can catch you later to get it back. Come on, man.
There is one that's similar to that, and like the creepiest version
Oh
of that.
my God. It doesn't have to be creepy.
We'll get to that one eventually. So, as far as direct openers, direct approaches go, usually you want them to come with humor and lightheartedness.
But if your entire goal is sex, you cannot enter it without these really high stakes and feel like your manhood is on the line.
Right, but
it puts too much pressure
He
here.
does address this, actually, because a lot of these guys are really nervous about this because they're putting this entire thing as like their entire goal of the night. If they don't do this, the entire night is wasted.
Right. Because God forbid we just have a conversation or listen to the music or something.
Yeah, these guys have a massive amount of tension within them, and they have to like come across like really calm and not aggressive, like they're gonna murder a woman.
Right, because you have two really strong competing goals. You're like an MLM salesman. If you don't make this sale, you're going to starve. But
sexually.
you can't come across too eager or you'll scare everyone away, which is why we, we have, pampered chef parties where we're having snacks and it'll be fun. The whole premise is flawed.
Yeah. So it's really emotionally draining. He suggests to do this with a smirk, as if smirking is going to channel you into a more calm person.
I think he's imagining a cute anime half smile, whereas most of these guys are gonna look like Adam Sandler on coke or something.
Oh God.
They're just not gonna know how to do
Yeah.
it. Plus, if you have the confidence to smirk and know that you could get whatever you wanted anyway, you're not reading this book and you're not this desperate.
Yeah.
You
Once you're smirking, you can move things forward. Usually, I try to focus in on something about the girl, likely the first thing I see. So if a girl's out with a big group, I'll say, "What is this? Girls' night out?" That's such a fucking dad thing to say, though. If she's wearing a pair of hoop earrings, I'll say, "Oh, look at those earnings." He does this every time he spells out earrings. He says, or he actually spells it out as earnings, as if you're earning money.
Because you're a hooker?
No, I think he just fucked it up. No, it's just supposed to be hoop earrings.
Oh, I don't know about it, because there was a correlation with earring size and whether you're a whore or not.
Oh,
That was a thing in the 90s that people talked about.
oh, I'd never
Do you
heard of
remember
that one.
that? And black women especially who loved the big hoop earrings, they were said to be promiscuous, and the bigger the hoop, the grosser the person, basically. This was a thing that was used to put down women.
You got your hooker shoes and earrings.
Yeah, you got your high heels and your hoop earrings.
Oh,
You're a
I bet it
whore.
was the bigger the hoop, but the bigger the sloot. Is that what it is? That's
I don't know. But I'm willing to bet 2012 he was actually implying this, even if the readers didn't know that this was an insult.
maybe. But in the sentence, he says hoop earnings. Oh, look at those earnings, rocking the bling I see. So I think he just genuinely just made a mistake and just can't spell. But you could be right. You
Fine,
never know.
we'll give him a pass and say he wasn't being a dick on
Yeah.
this.
Oh, there's some other stuff he's being a
We'll
dick about.
prove the other points where he is a dick.
Then he goes into 4 simple things you need to know when talking to women. Mm-hmm. Number 1, be clear and concise, which is kind of valid. He actually suggests if you have a speech impediment, go to speech therapy.
Okay.
So that's
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Be easier to communicate with. Okay.
Number 2 is just be different. So just be not like other girls, I guess.
I think it's set yourself apart so you're interesting.
Yeah. You have to be
But
mysterious.
that is such a random thing that it's not giving any... That's not specific.
It's really vague, yeah. A lot of these suggestions are really vague. Mm-hmm. To the point of uselessness.
Useless, yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys that, due to their lack of experience, resort to cheesy pickup lines or use very generic questions or statements when approaching and talking to women. And he sets 2 examples. One is the worst version, and then the next one's the better version. Guy, so what's your name? Girl, Amber. Guy, what do you do for a living? Girl, I teach art. Guy, so how old are you? Girl, 23. Guy, where do you live?
Oh!
Girl, what is this? 20 questions? And that question is way out of line.
Yeah, I would have said back up, she's an art teacher. Ask her who her favorite artist is.
Yeah.
You will have her immediately talking and interested by an honest question.
So that was the worst version of things.
Okay.
Purposely so. The better
Right.
version, according to this guy, is, what do you do? Girl, I teach art in prep school. So already he's changing her answers to things.
When that shouldn't be. That's changing the rules here.
Right.
You're changing the parameters here.
She's giving more information, so that would obviously make it easier to have a follow question.
Right.
Isn't it hard working with kids? Girl, it can be frustrating sometimes, but it's very rewarding. Guy, yes. When I was a kid, I bet I frustrated the teacher too. Girl, haha, we all did that. Guy, so do you also have your own art? Girl, yes, I do. That's cool. What kind of art? And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, he kind of just changed the script a little bit in a way that just isn't really helpful. Like, of course, if the other person is going to be more generous conversationally, it's going to make it easier on you to ask them questions.
Yeah, if the second girl's already giving you more information.
Because it kind of just feels like the girl in the first scenario just did not want to have a conversation. And the
Right.
second one actually gave information as if she wanted to continue a conversation.
Yeah. And I think a big part of what these questions and answers underlie is these people are not interested or interesting. Because if they genuinely were interested in her art, you wouldn't need a script.
Right.
Because they don't want to know her as a person. They want to bang her and be done and move on.
Well, there's several times that whatever author is writing whichever article has to remind the reader, like, you're talking to a person.
Oh my God.
Because that just seems like such a foreign concept to these readers.
Yeah.
3 is be understanding, which is very much in that vein. Yeah, you're talking to a human. She's not going to follow your script or whatever. You actually have to listen when she speaks.
Right.
The bar is so low.
You know, when your kids are little and they want an ice cream after their lunch at McDonald's, and you say, well, if you want this ice cream, I'll give you the money and I'll walk you up there, but you have to order it. And they're, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Everyone can see they're a child. And you observe and what do you say? What do you ask for? You give them the money.
Yeah,
Thank
walk them
you.
through it.
You walk them through it. But the, cashier sees that they're a child and sees that you're teaching them, and they hope that someday your child will be a decent human. So they, go along with you and help you.
But you see,
You should not be having that level of coddling as a grown-ass man.
Yeah. I mean, I just have to imagine, like, this is geared toward, like, emotionally inept college dudes or something. So just an emotionally inept college guy just walking up to you and like just reading the lines he has written on his hand.
Right.
Very disconcerting. Seems like he's up to something.
Yeah.
And the last one is don't put her on a pedestal, which is basically just saying she's also a person like you. She's not better. She's not worse. She's just a person.
She's just a person.
Yeah.
And she's not the only female you'll ever meet. There are other women out there.
Yeah. Which I think is kind of I don't like the tone this guy is using for this little bit. Because he's more hitting like, oh, just because they're hot doesn't mean they're better than you. Which I think a much better way to say that would be, they're just a human. You're also a human. You can have a conversation with them.
Right. Like you're equals. You are equal. It's okay.
Yeah. Now we get into old school pickup artist techniques.
Isn't this like door-to-door salesman? It's just you try as many as you can until you get some hits in.
Yeah, kind of. But before that, do you know who else has techniques for you to get you laid?
Oh, maybe these sponsors. Adam and Eve. We can hope one day to be sponsored. These ads.
Hello, bad book loving friends. Just updating our socials. We're on Blue Sky now at bugs-bibliorex.bsky.social. We have a Substack at Bugs and Books, and the profile name is Bugs at BiblioWrecks. And of course, our website, BiblioWrecks.com. Drop us a message and check out the content that Bugs works on. She's really good at the social stuff. And let's get back to that bad book.
And we're back from our lovely, wonderful, great sponsors.
I bought a dildo.
Nice.
Won't say for who.
Well, I mean, most people like dick-shaped things.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Everyone has holes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for holes. Mm-hmm. On to pickup lines.
Speaking of assholes.
Yeah. Good, Tony. We're funny sometimes. So, this is a list of old school pickup artist techniques.
Okay.
This one is called the best friend test.
This sounds familiar. I know I think I've heard of this, but I don't remember the details.
Okay, well, I'll describe it to you, and you can pick up where you think you see what's going.
Yeah.
So, this is you saying it to a couple of girls that are at a bar, presumably. You. So, how long have you guys known each other? Girls. We've known each other for X years. Answer doesn't matter, in parentheses.
Okay.
Which I guess for the sake of this, it doesn't, but it still sounds shitty.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the other person you're talking to says. You have a script.
You have a script. Okay.
You. You two are best friends, aren't you? I can totally tell. Girls. Haha, yeah, how did you know? Or whatever. You. I'll show ya. I'm gonna give you the best friends test. It's just one question. Do you both use the same shampoo? Then the girls look at each other, open their mouths to answer, and then you, interrupt them. See, I can already tell you guys passed. So again, it doesn't matter what they were going to say. Just them almost answering a question is enough. You both looked at each other before answering. Only really close friends do that? This doesn't sound like humans talking. Oh, and then it's girls. Oh my god, ha ha ha, blah blah blah. Is that what you thought it was going to be?
No. Apparently my brain was completely somewhere far, far away.
Yeah.
But, even me and Lily are extremely close. Mm-hmm. I don't know what shampoo she uses.
Yeah, who the fuck talks about that?
I only know Jay's shampoo because I buy it for him. I don't know what you use, and I see you every week.
Yeah.
What kind of question? Okay. I'm more alpha with better advice. Ask them something that they would actually know about each other, and then be like.
Well, a lot of these girls that are college age, I guess they're probably in a dorm or roommates or something.
Right, but if it's the best friend test, say, do you both have the favorite type of pizza? Pineapple on pizza. Yay or nay? And then they would look at each other, and you could actually get them both interested in you because that's an easy, non-divisive argument that is fairly silly. But shampoo?
Yeah, it's
weird
along
with the teeth and flossing thing. Personal hygiene is just not the thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's women be cleaning, I guess.
Maybe.
I guess that's where these ideas come from.
But even if they're roommates, probably still wouldn't know what the other person's using unless you have a shared bathroom. Because a lot of colleges with dorms, you just take your shit with you, and then you take it out, and you put it in your closet so no one else steals it.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. The only time I was in a roommate situation, we all had 3 separate blocks of Irish Spring. So
you were all guys too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Use that shit on every part of your body, and to hell with your beard or hair. It can go fall out and die. Who cares? Okay, this guy's not for naught. None of this is making a lick of sense.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're coming back to your umbrella suggestion you had earlier.
Okay.
This one's called the ring tactic.
The ring tactic.
It's not Lord of the Rings, unfortunately. I'd have so much more respect for these guys if there was a Lord of the Rings based pickup line somewhere in here.
Yes, I would actually have a little respect for that too. You drop a ring and pretend it's not yours.
No. When you've been talking with a woman who is about to leave,
Okay.
you give her a ring and you tell her, this ring is really special to me, but I want you to wear it so you can remember me. But when we meet up later, I expect to get it back. So are you like expected to like carry a bunch of fake rings around? Or are you just going to trust random strangers with a ring?
Yeah, are we talking like vending machine,
Yeah.
cubic zirconia, copper shit?
Like if it's just like a
50
costume
cents?
jewelry, I guess I understand, but this guy never qualifies which one.
What a freaking horrible mental burden to put on somebody. I'm giving you this thing I care about, and I want it back. It's hard enough to return a casserole dish to a neighbor, and that can make your brain hurt to have to go and return the casserole dish to them. You washed it? Do you put a new casserole in it? Do you return it empty? What if they're not there? If you leave it on the porch, a cat will get into it, but if they're not there, and you leave it, and then they might not see it, and then you don't know what's going to happen. Imagine that kind of mental thing over a random person and a ring.
Yeah.
This is just to put the onus and mental stress on this random woman.
Well, yeah, that doesn't matter how much stress she goes through.
But you're obviously lying, because this obviously cannot be anything worth anything, because you would have to do this dozens of times before someone
just give it
actually...
give
If
a
someone
special
did that
item
me,
to a stranger.
I would never go back to that bar. If
Yeah,
someone
that'd
did,
be fucking
I would
weird.
avoid that bar forever. If I saw him at another bar, I wouldn't go to that bar again either. Or I would do a reverse and say, "Oh yeah, I sold it and got $500. Thanks, man."
Yeah. Shouldn't give your shit away, idiot. So the next question is on qualifying yourself. So not only are you objectifying these women, you also have to objectify yourself
Right.
to see where you are in the rankings. Because a lot of these pickup artist books are like...
stupid, my jawline isn't the right shape, therefore I am biologically less likely to breed, and that makes me genetically inferior, and now I have all this angst. Oh.
Kinda, not really.
Okay.
But basically, it's like setting yourself up for where you lie in the hierarchy of things. Like, if you don't have like enough good looks, you have to make more money. Or if you're too old, you have to have more money. Or if you don't have enough social skills, you have to have more money.
The arcade game board. How close are you to number one?
Yeah.
And this is also how they prey on young men's insecurities.
Oh, yeah.
And they also try to sell this magazine or book as the secret sauce to get you over that threshold without having to be a millionaire or smart or whatever.
Oh, are you lacking social skills and have expendable income? I have the perfect book for you to solve all your problems and mine. You're supposed to qualify yourself with all of these, and this will tell you whether you're going to be categorized by a woman as a potential mate. It's weird.
Okay.
Or the I wouldn't want to ruin our friendship by hooking up category. Another quote, most dating experts, I don't know who these dating experts are. There are no citations in this book, obviously. Most dating experts believe once a woman slots you in category 2, there's not much you can do about it. Best case scenario, they think she'll see you as a girlfriend with a penis.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had a girlfriend with a penis.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's just more, you don't want to end up in the friend
Transphobic
zone.
much?
Well, yeah, it's
And demeaning,
casually
emasculating.
transphobic.
Yeah,
but
and it's emasculating because it's that whole gay
friend zoning.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Boyfriend who's gay, who's allowed to come to girls' night. Like, we're gonna make you into that.
Which honestly, I've been in that position several times. That's awesome, honestly.
There's so much less pressure, right?
Yeah, because you're just
hanging
talking
out,
to a friend.
and you're just having a nice evening and having fun watching a movie or whatever. Jeez.
Here's the solution to this, is to sell sex like you would a ShamWow. So again, it kind of goes back into the MLM thing like you were talking
What's
about.
a ShamWow?
You don't know the ShamWow thing? Mm-mm. You don't remember that crazy guy on the infomercials that was selling like these little rags?
I never watched infomercials.
Oh.
I never had TV, man.
Man, you missed some excellent brain rot.
I saw an infomercial one time about shampoo, and I asked Jay, "What is this?" And he said, "That's an infomercial." And I said, "Oh, I never saw one before." That was like at a hotel one time. Like I've never seen those.
What an awesome knowledge gap, honestly.
Apparently.
I've just got like so much useless infomercials stuck in my brain.
Oh my god. That guy has a crazy, scary jaw.
That guy is on cocaine.
Oh my god. And he's selling washcloths?
I think he's dead now.
But in the picture,
I think he was
holding up
legitimately on
washcloths?
drugs, yeah. Like, basically the idea was like you wipe up like a wet mess of some kind or other, and then you could just like wring it out and it would just be dry.
A washcloth.
Yeah, it's just a washcloth.
And his goal is to sell it and make you excited.
Yeah. And
About a washcloth.
it was, oh gosh, who was that other salesman, Jay? You know who I'm talking about.
Was it the quote, but wait, there's more?
Yeah, the OxyClean guy.
I don't know who that is either. I only know the phrase because of you.
Yeah, Billy Mays. Yeah.
I did know that Mike Rowe, the Dirty Jobs guy, he was on QVC because I watched a little documentary thing about him, and they gave him a pencil and was like, "Make me want to buy this pencil," and he spent nights doing QVC or what is that the
QVC.
I don't know what that stands for, but
I don't know either.
because even Jay's granny didn't watch that stuff. She watched the true crime news channels. So
yeah, that's his idea, is that you have to sell sex with yourself, spelling out like all the potential benefits of sex.
I'm a used washcloth. Yes, you love me. Oh,
So
no.
now what he's wanting to do is turn it around and have the women qualifying themselves for him.
Because you want to make yourself look so attractive, you would be turning them down to not have sex with them.
So number one,
they're desperate for you.
Yeah. Number one, ask her a question or present her with a challenge that makes her qualify. 2, if she complies, give her a qualifier. A qualifier is a compliment that lets her know that she's, at least to some degree, lived up to your standards.
Is this negging?
Yeah, it's negging.
Thank you. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I do know the phrase for that.
Yeah. Then put up a false barrier or qualify her further. Here's an example. Me. Are you fun? Notice I'm taking one of my standards and turning it into a question/challenge. This is crazy. This is crazy.
This is
thoughts.
exhausting. I cannot imagine being inside of that head.
Yeah, I
and
can't
having
imagine,
to turn every conversation into this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wouldn't. I mean, I already don't want to talk to people much, but especially not like fucking this. This is terrible. Girl, yes, very. She qualifies and commits herself to a fun girl self-image. Me. Good, because I like fun girls. This is so fucking creepy sounding. I'm giving her a qualifier. This lets her know that she's lived up to my standards. So it's like good girling after you've been kind of mean.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, thank you. Me, what's the craziest thing you've done in the last year? So, again, qualifying.
Right, and moving past fun to crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Girl, I had sex on a train, and that's a crazy thing to tell a stranger.
Well, that's his dream, because that's opening up the conversation to sex, which wouldn't probably happen organically, but he's trying to sell this technique as working. Right. So he's baking it in that his version works by giving her these weird responses.
So yeah, she's compelled to qualify because of her need to stay consistent with her previous commitment. Okay. So it's like you're holding her conversationally, holding her to previous statements, I guess, is the idea. Mm-hmm. Then it's back to him. Oh my God, I love you. You're my new girlfriend. Whoa. That's weird. That's really weird.
And if you do it in the right joking voice and she gets offended, you can say, I'm just joking. And then if she's like, wait, what? You can be like, if you wanna.
But he says he's giving her another qualifier at this point. If you and I hang out, we'll get arrested, so we should never hang out, and creating a false barrier? This is such a fucking weird way to talk to people. This is...
Because you're asking her to jump from fun to crazy to we're going to go do criminal things.
Let's go do crimes.
I guess it really is to weed out anyone sensible.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get a girl who's desperate or lonely or who has no compunction about doing random stuff with random guys.
Because you either find the girls that fall for this stupid shit or you just blame it on them. Like, oh, something was wrong with them. They didn't follow the script correctly.
Right. She wasn't fun, so I'm better off without her.
Yeah.
She wasn't crazy enough for me. I'm the crazy one who does fun criminal stuff. I'm going to go do crime on my own.
Is that an allegory for masturbating?
Yeah, in public.
So I'm betting you're wanting some more lines.
Yes, please.
Some more talking points.
Do I get to say it back to you? Should I hold it and read it to you?
If you want. These are 7 lucky lines to use in the company of hot women.
Okay.
Do you want to read them?
Do you want me to seduce you?
No,
You
actually.
could be a
That
beautiful
sounds terrible.
woman.
No,
I'm the protege here.
I hate that actually.
Fine. You read it to me and just give it to me straight, man. I'll...
So we're counting down.
Okay.
Number 7. If a girl is ignoring you, hold hand out. In America, or whatever country you happen to be in, we have this magical little thing called a handshake. Here, it goes something like this, and then you do a handshake.
Oh, rage.
Yeah, that's so cringe.
That's something a gross uncle does to a little cousin or a little nephew or niece.
It's so weird, man.
That is disgusting. Ooh, okay, I couldn't have said that one to you, sorry.
Yeah.
That's too disturbing.
Number 6, as an adjective. Example, if you wanted to offer a woman a drink, don't say, let's get drinks, like a normal person.
Right, because that allows an option or a conversation.
Because they could say no to that.
Yeah, they can say no to that.
Instead, make it fun and exciting by saying, let's get drinks. I'm going to order you a beer that transcends transcendence. So that's just adjectiving an adjective.
Bam, bam. I'm going to buy you a drink that will transcend transcendence.
It sounds so dumb. Does it sound dumb coming out of your mouth? Because that's how I felt.
I know.
I had read it earlier and I saw, I was like, this.
Transcendence. It's a stupid man's idea of a smart thing to say.
Yeah, basically. This entire thing is a stupid man thing. Number 5, I've been looking for you all night.
Creepy. Goodbye.
So rather than asking a question or doing something else equally as emasculating, so asking a girl a question is somehow emasculating to this guy? That's fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Not just know, like, are you supposed to know everything if you're a guy? You're not allowed to not know some shit?
You know what I feel like? I feel like we're trying to bottle narcissism and hand it to guys and say, drink this, and now you'll be Trump. And you'll get all the pussy you could get. Like, I really feel like
As much as you could grab.
Yeah. I feel like they really are
I feel
trying to take a persona, a TV personality, something, and then just bottle it up and sell it to people.
Yeah, they're trying
But nobody likes who that original character is anyway.
Yeah, like they're trying to promote their version of confidence, but their version of confidence is just like a douchebag.
Yeah. Like, this is selling how to be a douchebag.
Yeah. So instead of doing something emasculating, like asking a fucking question, you're just supposed to walk up to a girl and say, "I've been looking for you all night," and that's the whole thing for that one.
And that's taking from the rule all men know: never ask for directions.
Number 4, as a compliment, I'd be acting like a perfect gentleman right now if you weren't so cute.
What?
Do you want to try that one?
Okay, here. Yeah. Oh, you'll like this. Yes.
Number 4. Yeah.
I'd be acting like a perfect gentleman right now if you weren't so cute.
I hate that.
with the smirk. I did the smirk.
Oh, yeah. I was so affected by the compliment, I didn't even notice.
Like, what does that even mean? That doesn't mean anything.
It's just some stupid shit to, I guess, try to start a conversation if someone is dumb enough to continue conversating with you after that.
God.
Number 3, as a challenge, you tell a girl, show me your dance moves.
So I can stand there and gawp at you like a pervert? What?
I don't know what the point of that is. Like, are you supposed to dance back at her? Like, are you doing like a bug dance? Is this a mating ritual?
Right.
What is this?
Because you're basically saying show off your body to me. Be a display.
At no point does this suggest, oh, maybe you do something for her to display yourself.
Or dance with her?
Well, it does at one point, but that's a whole different thing.
Good grief.
That one's amogging or something.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into it soon. Number 2, when disagreeing with her, let's not talk about that anyway.
Ooh.
This one's probably my favorite. Again, not exactly mind-blowing in complexity. Simply telling a woman you don't want to talk about something is incredibly attractive. Guys usually jump all over any topic a woman brings up like a starving dog begging for table scraps. Don't be such a bitch. If a woman brings up a stupid conversation topic, or even something you just don't feel like discussing, dismiss it with a simple, let's not talk about that. Anyway. Again, it's like the most passive version of negging.
But also, here we are with all these lists of questions to ask her. Mm-hmm. But any of them could be a reply that you follow up with, oh, I don't want to talk about that because you got too excited. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about something else that you don't care about. Cause...
It's so weird. Like, who wants to continue a conversation when you bring up something that interests you? Mm-hmm. And then they're like, I don't want to talk about that. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, goodbye. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, where does the conversation go after that?
That's a conversation
that's
ender.
Just fucking rude.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't care, you can, like, pretend for, like, a second.
And if the goal of this is to get the girl, take her home, have hot sex all night.
Yeah, just listen to whatever stupid shit.
You could possibly try to be interested.
Or at least pretend.
For 30 seconds.
Yeah. So.
I just don't even know.
Yeah. So the last one is just a genuine compliment. He doesn't give an example of a genuine compliment.
But... there's no more than that.
Obviously, you just give her like a regular compliment, you monster, after that fucking bullshit right before that.
And please don't make it creepy about her body.
Yeah.
Just say, I like your outfit tonight. Come on. If they're at a club, they probably dressed up nicely, and you could just take 2 seconds to say, I like how you did your hair. Mm-hmm. I like your outfit.
Oh, there's a bit here about women's hair you're not going to like later.
Oh, boy.
But right now, 3 tricks to avoid getting cock-blocked. So to you, cock-blocking is just someone refusing to have sex with you, right? Like, if someone wants to have sex with you, they'll just do that. They don't have to, like, adults will just have sex if both of them want to.
Generally, and the other use of that phrase is like someone else intervening and preventing you. You know, the kids cock block the dad because they woke up crying at 10 p.m. So like that turn of phrase. But yeah, it's mostly just she don't want it. She says no. End of story.
Yeah. So in this scenario, the first idea is like she has a friend at the bar that wants to cockblock you because she's getting bad vibes or something.
Okay.
Trick number 1 is to trick her friends into liking you by talking to them as well instead of just your potential prospect. And then I just added a hashtag pretend to be human. And
pretend you're not a shark on the scent here. Like, pretend you actually care about the people you're interacting with.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's really interesting that he's aware that girlfriends will try to watch out for each other. And he views that
As an obstacle to get around.
Yeah, to trick them, to make them lower their guard. Because a lot of times, girlfriends will watch out for each other to not get date raped and not get drugged and not get assaulted. That's why they go to the bathroom in groups.
Trick number 2, and this one's pretty funny. The trick is to just get her insanely attracted to you.
If you were insanely attractive, would you be reading this?
Right. Like, if you could just do that, you don't need this book.
Right.
It basically boils down to you can't get cock-blocked if she actually consensually wants to have sex with you.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Trick number 3 is be willing to walk away, which is basically just
Don't commit assault?
Yeah.
What else? What?
This is basically just kind of a repackage of trick number 2, but also just accept a no. And it's weird that these people have to be told that.
Yeah. That's
So,
disturbing.
That one basically says there are other fish in the sea. Don't be too hard about it.
Right.
So now we get into AMOGing, which I brought up earlier.
Oh, yes. Is that like an acronym?
Yeah, it's alpha male other guys.
Alpha male other guys. I have not heard of that.
So this one is just like gorillas beating their chests in front of the
Oh, I would hate it when guys would do that in groups and just beat on each other to get attention. Okay.
Well, this is a little less stupid than that, but it's still pretty stupid. This guy says, I use this little destroyer all the time. Here are some examples. Guy starts acting tough with me in front of a girl. So I turn to the girl and say, yeah, this guy is probably really nice when girls aren't around. But once he's around women, he puts on his estrogen muscles and does this tough guy act. Aren't you so impressed? So in this section, this guy is going on about, like...
I mean, that's a good way to take down the other guy, but I
Right.
don't know what estrogen muscles is.
I don't either. Like, is it just acting tough around women is, like, the idea?
Because I've never heard that phrase. That
I
sounds
also
made up.
never heard it before now. So in this section, this guy goes on about, like, cutting the other guy's wires. Because basically it's just two guys doing the same thing. Because
And this is better lines to make you look better.
yeah, because right after this, if this guy, or if the other guy uses this line on you, he has a comeback for that. And then another comeback for that.
So it's a script to use against the other guy to
Yeah.
get the girl.
So if it's just two dumbasses who read the same book, whoever started first wins, I guess. Because there's 3.
And she's
so.
standing there thinking, how do I get out of this?
Yeah. Like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I want to leave.
Yeah.
But before she can leave, 3 ways to touch a girl that turns her on.
No.
Yeah. Number 1, hand touch. Which that one's pretty self-explanatory. You're just, like, establishing, like, a physical connection.
And if it's done in a gentle, not creepy way, it can be effective.
Yeah.
Like, I'm handing you a cup of coffee or a drink, and our fingertips touch. I don't think he has that finesse.
Probably not. He's probably just, like, grabbing her by the thumbs. And just... I want to thumb wrestle! Number 2, hair touch.
No, don't touch girls' hair.
This
Don't
guy
touch
has
our
some
hair.
crazy ideas about the hair touch thing.
And it's not the psychology of, oh, she flipped her hair. That means she's into you.
No.
This is you touching her hair. Ugh.
I want you to try to wrap your mind around this because I still can't.
Okay.
You may have
I'm going to
heard...
pretend it's you and your beautiful long hair.
Fine, I guess. You may have heard that if a girl is willing to let you touch her hair, that she is willing to kiss you. Now, I have not, as of yet, tested this theory conclusively enough to state that this is 100% effective, but what I can tell you is that every girl who has let me touch her hair has let me kiss her. and I've never had a woman tell me not to touch her hair.
That's some fallacy
That's
logic
fucking
there.
weird.
That's some fallacy built on some fallacy there.
So it's, every woman will let me touch her hair, so every woman will let me kiss her.
Yeah.
That's fucking that's wild, man. How do you get to that conclusion? How do you get there?
And touching hair is nowhere near as simple and easy as a hand touch. Mm-hmm. Which could happen
You have to
accidentally.
get near their
You have to
face.
be, yes, next to their head.
And
physically very close.
For me personally, I hate anyone touching me. I don't even like Lily touching me sometimes.
Right. But also, that's not like a casual thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like oh, you're super in my personal space. Mm-hmm. I'm either really accepting of this or really not. So
maybe he's just saying he's never got punched when he deserved it.
Yeah. Or the other person just didn't feel comfortable saying anything and they just let it go by.
Yeah, because I mean, that's
Most
a very
likely.
common tactic of avoiding violence is just let him do it and then hope you can get away before it goes too far.
Yeah. Number 3, waist touch.
See, and touching someone's waist is actually easier in certain scenarios than touching their hair.
Sure.
Because you walk behind someone and you're like, hey, I'm right behind you, and you put your hand on their back so they don't turn around and break something, and you do that verbal, I'm right beside you, and you put your hand out on their shoulder so that they know you're there. Seems courteous, and if you use it in a discreet way when you're crowded in a section or something, in a kitchen or on the bus.
Right.
But touching someone's waist?
It feels really inappropriate, like really fast. I don't know what context this is. Like, this is the third or fourth time you've met this person.
Even touching someone's shoulder in a... oh yeah, I see that. And you put your hand on their shoulder or you gently point them in a direction to look at something. This is creepy.
Yeah. In my opinion, 99% of the time, any kind of physical touch is inappropriate.
Which you're not a touchy-feely.
I'm super not touchy.
Our family is very, very touchy-feely, but
Yeah.
even when it comes to strangers or people you've just met, that is still just really I don't go up to my classmates and start touching their waists or nothing. That's just gross.
That's weird.
That's creepy.
Or touching their hair. Ugh. So, he gets very specific with how you're supposed to touch their waist. Mm-hmm. To pull this off, all you do is lay your palm and fingers on her side just above her pelvic bone. You're in a dance club and you're having to determine where her pelvic bone is. So that your fingertips sort of curl around behind her so that you can pull her in just a tad. Just make her feel a little bit trapped is all.
Is the scenario that we're dancing together?
I don't know. It doesn't give any kind of context like that.
Because that's the only scenario I could see that making sense. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you can't hear them and you pull them closer so you can hear each other talk. But I would have to assume a great deal of familiarity with each other before getting to that point.
At this point, a lot of them I just kind of skipped around because I kind of just wanted to go over the more interesting ones.
Right.
In the how to tell if a girl wants a crazy makeout section, point number 2 really stuck out to me.
Oh boy.
It's called the whisper test. This one is more of a trick I use to test if it's time with awesome results. Here's what I do step by step. While talking to her at a party, in a movie, or at a loud bar, I'll do this. Grab the back of her neck. Already, no. Shut it down.
No.
Gently. He does qualify it with gently.
Good.
Pull her face in close to yours, then slightly move your head to the left or right as if you were trying to whisper something in her ear. She will do one of two things. Back her head up and open her eyes wide as if she didn't want to kiss you. Or relax her eyes and pucker her lips. It's a very subtle thing, so keep your eyes peeled. If she does the second one, after you whisper something in her ear, give it a bit and go for the kiss when you're comfortable doing so. So I feel like that's kind of an obvious thing, but also a really gross thing to do to get to that point.
Is he assuming these poor young men have never even seen a movie? They could watch a chick flick and get better information on what girls want than this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know what these people assume about their readers, but...
I'm trying to build.
Yeah,
who is this for? What is their age? What is their level of expertise or grown-upness? And I'm getting a lot of conflicting information here.
Yeah, because it feels a lot like you're like walking a toddler through a social interaction.
I could see some of this that you tell a 14-year-old when he wants to go on a date with a girl. And you're like, okay, if you want to hold her hand, you hold your hand out. And if she wants to hold your hand, she'll put her hand in yours. When you're watching the movie, hold the popcorn between you, and your hands might touch on the popcorn bowl.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited. But this is obviously meant at adults who are over 21 in a bar drinking.
Well, to a degree, I kind of understand why they have to write it stupid like this.
Right.
Because I remember being like in college in early 20s, and I would absolutely have needed something like this, like a literal walkthrough. Like it definitely would have made me grosser if I had read something like this at the time. So I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what it is about being a guy in your 20s. You're just fucking stupid.
I guess. Maybe it's all the testosterone and hormones.
I don't know. I feel like there's a wider societal thing that young guys just don't have like a lot of decent role models. Like that's why you get fucking people like Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Fucking up preteens and stuff.
Also, when guys become teens, I think society suppresses emotional intelligence. And expects girls and women to do all the emotional intelligence work for them. And if they do any of that, feeling their feelings, naming their feelings, seeing other people's feelings, they're made fun of or called gay or abused for having feelings.
Yeah, I absolutely think that's true, because that was definitely true in my case.
Because a lot of this is trying to teach young men how to feel feelings and see them in these women and respond appropriately. It's
without actually understanding why.
Yeah, like her eyes are wide and she pulls her head back. A person who has emotional intelligence doesn't need to be told that means she's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Which I know in my case, I didn't really start developing like any kind of emotional intelligence until like mid-20s.
Yeah. But this is just like the level of, a 9-year-old boy bumbling around and being too rough with his little sister, and you have to say you have to be gentle. This is bizarre.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these guys that would be reading this lack like so much self-awareness that even as an emotionally inept idiot in my 20s, I definitely had more awareness than a lot of these people.
Yeah. Well, shoot, we met you in your early 20s, and you were not like this.
Nah.
If you were, I would have chased you away.
I was well into some amount of emotional growth. Not much.
You were rough around the edges, but you were not this.
Yeah. No, I was definitely better than I was previous years. But yeah, then we skip around to kissing tip number 5. And it qualifies it with don't do this too often.
Oh, no.
Unless you're in a spot where you can escalate straight to sex, you don't want to be constantly sucking face. It lowers your value in a public arena and doesn't contribute to her comfort. Unless she's the type of girl who constantly wants to be eating parts of your face in public.
So just don't do too much PDA.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless she wants to, in which case, do it. So do it unless you shouldn't do it.
which is just emotional maturity to be aware of your environment and where you're at. Like, don't suck face at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Okay? You'll shock your grandma and
That's
give her a heart
crazy.
attack. But if you're in the theater, no one's going to care that much, you know? But also, don't rip off your pants and do it there.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to teach context to these young men who have never felt the touch of a woman in their life, including their mother, apparently.
Yeah.
They don't know how to hug or get hugged, and they don't know when it's appropriate to show affection.
Yeah.
I rue the future of our human race.
Well, fortunately, this was 2012.
It's
I feel
gotten so much worse.
in some ways it has gotten worse.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I feel like the information is more available for emotional growth if you're looking for it.
Yeah, I can see that because you have a lot more of the on TikTok, you'll have the mental health awareness section and you have the people. And because we have so much access to video, you can get a lot more of this information that's like a real time thing and seeing people do it, I guess. And then you can get it in a better format. But also we have people like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson and all those shitheads who are just... They either do the biology thing of women are monkeys and they want this and this makes them feel safe and you must be big man monkey who have biggest balls and then that makes you special.
Well, the good thing about that being something that younger people are coming in contact with at such an early age is they're going to get bored of it or they're going to mature out of that. A lot of them probably won't.
Right.
But I would say the vast majority of them are going to eventually see in the public arena that, oh, this stuff kind of dies when it touches air.
Yeah. And I do think some of the anti-bullying initiatives of the 90s and some of these other public reactions to, school violence and bullying and things like that have possibly actually helped start the conversation. And we also had the Me Too movement, which didn't cause that much of a benefit, I think, to a lot of people, but it opened the conversation.
Yeah.
And just having that conversation allows people to have the language, because if you don't know what consent is, you cannot name rape.
Yeah, you have to have a baseline going just to be able to talk about these things or just to begin the conversation.
Yeah.
So, last section.
Okay.
This is by far my favorite section of the entire book, and that's the last section. It's awesome.
Yes.
Conversation tactics to use in strip clubs.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Tell me he's not hitting on the strippers.
These are pickup lines to get strippers. Isn't the thing you can just buy their time. You don't have to.
She's not into you. She just wants your money.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the contract. That's the exchange. You get to look at her body, maybe touch, depending on the establishment. She goes home to her normal life.
Yeah.
God. Oh, my God. He thinks that they're into him.
Oh, God, it's terrible.
Okay.
In strip clubs, there's no sense wasting your time on small talk. Since your goal is to take her home, not spending any money, you'll normally only have 5 to 10 minutes to flirt with her before she feels the need to get back to hustling customers for dances.
It's not hustling, baby. That's her job.
Yeah, she's doing her job. Leave her the fuck alone.
She probably has a manager watching her, and if you take up too much of her time, she'll get yelled at, bud.
No empathy here. There's only horny. There's no empathy.
Just go get a prostitute and get it over with. She has a job. You give her money. End of the scenario.
Yeah.
God.
So this is just a bunch of lines that I pulled. You're the funniest girl I've met in the last 5 minutes. Hey, this is more negging because you're trying to get their attention in a really short amount of time.
Yeah.
You're cute, but I detect a bitchy, high-maintenance vibe from you. I bet all your ex-boyfriends say you're a handful.
We're putting her down to get her attention.
Putting down strippers so they'll have sex with you. Oh,
Winning
boy.
strategy.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's awesome.
I'll bet this got him a lot of sex. And the best kind.
Yeah. You and I could never be boyfriend and girlfriend. And just right there, talking boyfriend and girlfriend to a stripper is
That
really
is
weird.
There for work.
That's like
You're jumping the gun here, man. That's
like asking for Play-Doh at Lowe's, I feel like.
Yeah, this is so beyond left
It's
field.
really weird. You and I could never be boyfriend and girlfriend. We're way too much alike. We'd clash all the time and then have crazy wild makeup sex and wake up all the neighbors. And then we'd break up again the next day and you'd throw my clothes out in the front yard. It would be hot, but a whole lot of drama. That's a weird thing to say to anyone ever. I don't know what context that would be a normal thing to say in.
The only time I've ever seen in even media the
Deadpool
was, and you ask her to go play arcade games and you treat her like a fucking human being and you don't try to make it weird and creepy, but he has charisma.
One context. If you're Ryan Reynolds, you can do this.
If you're Ryan Reynolds as
you can do
Deadpool.
all of these and you can get away with them if you're Ryan Reynolds.
But also he has charisma.
Yeah.
And he actually has skills and talents. The ability to go find other women too. Like it wasn't this all-encompassing void.
Yeah. Like it wasn't going to fuck up Deadpool's day if he didn't have sex with a lady.
He would be disappointed.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be the end of the world. And these people act like this is going to be the end of their world.
Yeah.
Destigmatize masturbation. The new catchphrase of our podcast.
Yeah. BiblioWrecks. Just fucking grab your dick. It's fine. Okay, here's another one. It's too bad I swore off dating girls like you, and that feels really derogative.
That's gross. What does that mean?
Then it says change the subject and don't explain.
I like to throw shit at the wall. Moving on.
Anyway.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, this one's pretty good. I love women who are tall / short / blonde / Asian, etc. You just have to pick something that the person you're talking to isn't.
Oh my god.
And like, if a stripper heard you say that, she'd be like, "Oh, okay, you want another dancer? Then
We
I'll
probably
leave."
have one over here that
Yeah,
we would
you
like.
want Sandy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bye. I'm all wrong for you. You're probably used to dating boring nice guys who kiss your butt and bring you flowers on the first date. That one just
Why
sounds
are you
sad.
just making yourself sound like an ass?
Yeah. All of these just kind of make you sound like you suck. I wouldn't want to continue a conversation with you
No,
after this.
and even in the context of you're trying to get a stripper's attention, it's loud, it's noisy, it's chaotic, and people aren't there for conversation.
Poison's playing that Cherry Pie song because that's the only one I know they play in strip clubs.
Like, and I've never been in a strip club. I've watched enough TV that portrays it to know the context of men are there to get excited and there's not much else going on.
Yeah.
Why does he think this? Does he think this would work, or is this just to write out another article and sell it?
Probably. A lot of these, while I was reading this, felt like they were just kind of trying to get a word count in a lot of the time.
He didn't have ChatGPT to write him a listicle.
Oh my god, if they had ChatGPT in 2012, they absolutely would have just flooded the
The
internet with this
listicles
stupid
of all these
shit.
things. It's funny now because nobody really does blogging like we did back in 2012.
You're such a nice girl. Maybe you shouldn't be hanging out with a guy like me. I could get you in all kinds of trouble. Sad. Really desperate sounding.
Yeah.
You're really sweet, but seriously, you should probably be talking to a nice boy like the one... These just keep getting sadder.
Remember part in IT Crowd where he's like, I'm just a bastard. I'm just a bad man. I'm just so bad. And he wears all his darker and sillier sunglasses and has the leather coat on.
Yeah. And the last one, fucked up. I hate this one. I hate it so much.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, I do, actually. I just gave myself a headache laughing.
I have one better for you. I'm going to read this to Jay. You're like the little sister I never had. Or, you remind me so much of one of my little sister's friends.
That's so goddamn creepy.
Jay is ready to have a heart attack over there.
Oh, that's so gross. Oh, God.
Telling anyone that you want to fuck that they look like a little sister is
That's so
so disturbing.
Oh, I'm glad I saved that one for last because I
know, you just had a conniption over there.
I blew something in my head. Sometimes if I laugh too hard, something pops in my head and it hurts. I have a migraine now.
Oh, no. Yeah, we'll have to go downstairs and have an
boy.
ibuprofen. Oh, my God.
I blame C4 energy because I've drank like 3 of those today and a Red Bull.
Oh, my God. I hope not. That you can't have too many of those. They'll hurt you.
Yeah, it hurts my skin.
I mean, I did that a couple times when I was younger, and I know I lost brain cells.
Yeah.
It was very bad for you.
That's fine.
You can have a heart attack. And then who will be my co-host? I won't be able to make fun of you. I'll be sad and alone.
I mean, you can make fun of my potato body. We can wheelchair me up here.
I could crochet a Bam Bam and set him up in your chair.
Yeah, I'd say just as smart things, honestly.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am glad I was not in those spaces in 2012.
Yeah.
That would have been a waste of time.
Terrible, terrible place to be.
God.
But that was Hacking Seduction.
Seduction hacked.
Yep. I feel like I could just seduce anyone from 2012.
See, and like Amy has a really cute little boyfriend now. And he sends her pickup lines that he finds online.
Okay, but those are just fun. That's what me and Lily did.
It's adorable because they're so lame. And it just makes you laugh.
Yeah, I mean, that's the funny thing about them.
Because they're already, like, you know, hanging out and texting each other and whatever. And it's
the pressure's off. They can just have
off.
fun.
This isn't a desperate for attention. I have to say this thing, the perfect right thing right now.
Yeah.
And it's so funny and it's so cute. And this stuff just reeks of desperation and it's pathetic. And the little sister line, come on, man. That's just disgusting. Just come on.
So I'm going to give this... I'm going to be super generous and give it a D.
A great big dick.
Give it the D.
We'll give it that
Mostly
that
because...
dildo from the commercial.
Yeah. Topical. But yeah, there were actually some like little self-aware bits like here and there that were like at least headed in the right direction. Like... if you have a speech impediment and you want to be able to more effectively talk to people, go to speech therapy.
Right.
That
might help your self-confidence and make it easier for you to have conversations.
Yeah, or be self-aware. You're talking to another human. You're not talking to an NPC.
Right. Because I think if you really are in that headspace of like you're playing Sims, you have a limited number of conversation choices and it is on a script. In real life, humans have many different reactions, and there's many, many different things that can happen.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's stuff like this for young men that's actually good. Because this seems so grifty. This seems like a grift to take money from young men who are sad.
Yeah. I was reading another one recently. It was mostly just kind of boring, but most of it was just kind of promoting self-improvement in a little bit of a toxic way, but not horribly toxic. Like, it was normal enough that it kind of flew under the radar for me.
Right.
So I didn't feel the need to harp on that one. It was just kind of, yeah, you should be trying to advance your career or try to exercise and,
kind of the
not be so
baseline
fucking
healthy
pent
human
up.
stuff.
Yeah, like self-improve yourself by practicing socializing and not get too bent out of shape when someone rejects you.
Right.
Shit like that. So I think there's better versions of this. There's one thing. There's a guy that was super big in the space like back around this time, and his name was Neil Strauss, and he wrote a book called The Game, and it was like super
I've heard of that
toxic.
one.
Yeah, it spawned a lot of this stuff.
I think maybe that one was either on Behind the Bastards or Jamie Loftus did something on it. Mm-hmm. I think I've heard about it in a podcast.
But later on, some number of years later, he wrote a sequel to that book, and it was kind of going back and looking at it and seeing why he was being super toxic and why that frame of thought that he was in when he wrote that was wrong.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. Yeah.
Wow.
So like becoming self-actualized and going back and pointing out all your own flaws, which I think is pretty healthy in some respects.
Huh. We kind of saw something similar to that. I think the guy's name was Joshua Harris. I think is the guy who wrote I Kissed Dating Goodbye. And that was a hugely influential book on the purity movement. And then now, as a 40-something-year-old man, wrote us another book talking about how that was really harmful and it damaged his marriage and he left his wife and lost his church and all that stuff, but was just also he was 18 when he wrote it, so extremely immature. And then he got held up as the poster boy of purity culture. And so seeing these people kind of grow up and mature and come back to their stuff and say, hey, I was wrong. Little too late, but better than nothing.
Yeah, like damage is done, but there's also like somebody else has already went through a route that those people could also follow to get to the other side of that.
And it gives you
kind of
hope
shit.
that maybe the people who read it were able to mature too.
Yeah. So there's always hope.
There is hope. We are no longer on Twitter because fuck Elon Musk and all of his robots on there.
Yeah.
I am not doing much on Facebook because it's a cesspool of nastiness. I am on Substack, and I'm blogging as myself, Bugs at BiblioWrecks.
Oh, cool.
And it's mostly just going to be me doing random stuff that I think about, because maybe not specifically books, but just more, personal history and thoughts and ideas on current events. But I like the idea of blogging, and it's very low stakes.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so sorry if you were wanting to follow us on Facebook, because it's too much work and too little reward.
Yeah. Also, we've got a lot of other shit that we do.
Yeah.
You're a student pretty much full time, and I have a full-time job. So yeah, we're doing our best.
We're trying our hardest to keep up with the books, and we just don't have time for all the other extra stuff. But
Which we love doing it.
yeah, I love this part of it.
But life is about priorities and shit.
Yeah.
So
We hope that you have been enjoying the Bad Book Bad Movies. Please let us know what you think of that. We are more on YouTube. We read the comments section on YouTube. If you connect to us on there, we will respond. But for now, these other platforms are just kind of meh. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing.
yeah, at this point, like today, like we're usually like a couple of months out from when the episode actually comes out. But at this point, we've got like 1,400 listens on Podbean. And I think that's super cool.
That is really cool. I hadn't looked at it that recently.
Yeah.
And it feels like it wasn't too long ago we celebrated our 1,000th download. Had a big, or was that 500?
That was 500 that we meant to do 1,000 download
and it just kind of
thing.
came and went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were busy with shit.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So,
Maybe we'll do 2,000.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, we thank you very much. Send it to your friends who also love to hate bad books, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.